For a long time, I couldn't get out of the bed early in the morning. I struggled to wake up and I would spend 2-3 hours extra staying in bed because I was a lazy motherfucker. I used to have 10 alarms and I would snooze each and every alarm and then go back to bed and stay there for another couple of hours. I would use Alarmy, paid apps like Alarmy. I would invest money in them, but then I would grab my phone, dismiss the alarm, and then uninstall it. So I was really down bad. I tried every single thing that I could find on the internet and it didn't work for me. Now, let me tell you a specific story. So we all know that you can find everything that you want on Reddit. So I tried and I searched there. It was like one morning where I felt like a mess. I started scrolling on Reddit and I saw other people, asking the same question. How can you wake up early in the morning? What should I do? Habits and all that stuff. And a lot of people wrote that you should take a pet, because pets really wake you up early in the morning and stuff like that. But I don't want to do that. I don't really want a pet because that's an extra responsibility for me that I don't really want to do it. And also I don't really like pets, to be honest with you guys. So I was struggling. I didn't find any results, but there was this one guy there and it was kind of speaking the same language that I speak because he was like a gym bro, the gym mentality and stuff like that. He was talking about using progressive overload to wake up early in the morning. And that really made sense for me, because I'm going to the gym, I was going to the gym for a couple of months back then and now I have like 2 years in the gym, and it really makes sense for me that if it works there, then it should specifically work here and work for me. So I started doing that, I started, doing progressive deloading of my scheduling. So for example, I used to go to sleep at 12 a.m. and then, I would struggle to wake up early. I wanted to wake up early at 6 a.m., which is also a big mistake because I didn't get the sleep that I needed to make progress during the day. Now I started doing that. I started, using progressive overload with my sleep schedule, and fast forward in 2025, first semester of my school, I got a 4.0 GPA, while also joining a fraternity, doing a lot of social activities and having a vibrant social life. And that's the same thing I want for you, because I don't want you to spend your entire day just learning and then, being a miserable guy in every other area of your life. Now, if you want to see exactly how I did it, you can have my program and community in the description. Join there and you'll see exactly what I did, and you can also speak with me one-on-one. Now, let me ask you a question. If this would be your first day in the gym, you would handle 50 pounds of weights, or you would start with something small? And as in the story as I told you, you would probably want to start with something small. Because overall, we all want in life to have a big change. We all want to have that shift that's going to make us a better person, it's going to make us a wake up early person, a morning person, a more productive person. But the thing is, that will never happen. Why? Because your life is not meant to change like this overnight. It's very few cases when that happens, and usually it happens because there's a magnificent force behind it. But if you want to do it by yourself, if you want to take control of your life, you have to use micro shifts. You have to use small habits, small steps into that direction so you can do it. Because imagine this, level 10 requires you to lift 50 pounds, right, on your bench press, level 10. But right now you are level 1, level 0, it's first time when you go to the gym. And of course you won't be able to be at level 10. You have to start with the weights that are at level 1, which is maybe 5 pounds, 10 pounds, 25 pounds, whatever is it that you can lift. And then doing progressive overload, the same thing that guy told me about, by doing that you can reach level 10 and lift 50 pounds. The same thing applies to waking up early. So for example, if right now you go to sleep at 11 p.m. and you want to wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning, probably you're not going to be able to do that directly, because you're going to have a sleep schedule that is adapted to your level. If it's your first time and you always used to stay in late and sleep until 9, 10, 11 a.m., then you'll have to take it gradually and do progressive deloading of your sleep schedule. And I got an entire course module on this with techniques I use and every little small trick that I do. You have my entire program down below in the description. Click there and I'll see you inside. The next thing that I implemented is a night alarm. So we want to have the morning alarm, as we talked earlier. We want to have the schedule that we want to create, but we also have to have a night alarm which tells us when we have to start either our night routine or go to sleep. And I implemented that too. But here's a catch. Even with my morning alarm and with my night alarm, the one thing I do differently from any other people, and this is so important because it's going to give you such an unfair advantage, is that I move my phone into my bathroom. Alright, so when I have to, dismiss my alarm or snooze it, whatever it is, I have to get out of the bed and move into an entire different room, do some steps that are going to allow me to wake up my brain and become, aware, conscious of my decisions, to now get back into the bed and become, starting my routine, becoming more productive. So that's one thing, one small detail that a lot of people don't do. You just put your phone next to your pillow, and then you just expect to get out of bed quickly, do your push-ups, cold shower, whatever it is. But that won't happen. As I told you have to start with level 0. And level 0 is putting your phone away so that you have, that morning movement that's going to allow your brain to wake up and you become aware of your choices. You're not groggy, you're not sleepy, which is going to make your process a lot more easier. The same thing works with a night alarm. So I started telling you about that. I have a night alarm at 8 p.m. and that also signals me when I have to start my night routine. I don't go to sleep at 8, I go to sleep at 8:45, but at 8 I have to start my night routine and prepare myself, wind down, so I can have a good sleep, that I'm gonna finish my day like a warrior, like a winner, because my motto and the motto of our community is to win your mornings and conquer your days. Because if you win your mornings, you're gonna be prepared to conquer your days. You're gonna have better awareness, you're gonna make better decisions, and you're gonna have better outcomes, which is the only thing that I'm teaching you right here. And you're gonna find that in my modules, in my program, first link in the description if you wanna check that. And the last thing that I want to tell you guys, and this is very important because no one ever tells you this. I've watched a lot of YouTubes, I've read a lot of Reddit stuff, but no one ever tells you about this, and this is gonna give you such an unfair advantage of your competition, because at the end of the day you're competing with everyone else for the goals that you have. There's a limited scarcity, there's limited resources which we all compete for, food is limited and all that stuff. Now what I'm gonna tell you is you need to put social pressure on yourself to succeed. Now I call this social pressure accountability. And I use my father for this. We're very good partners in business, and we kind of keep each other accountable for the actions that we do. We make sure that we stay on track to have the progress that we want and to make the decisions that we want, because it's so easy to go sideways if you don't have either a friend or an accountability partner that you can sometimes talk to and take better decision, making sure that you're not just being emotional, you're being logical, and you're making the right decision for you and for your future self. Now, a very important point that I want to make here. When I told you that you have to be accountable and you have to find an accountability partner, you may say that, no, I don't want to do this. Your brain may tell you a lot of reasons why you don't want to do this, because you're anxious, you are not socially, you don't have any friends that you can trust, and you don't have anyone that you could use for this thing. Well, that's good. Because if it's hard, if your brain tells you to no, if your brain tells you excuses why you shouldn't do this, this is the exact reason why you should do this. It means that you need to do it because your brain is afraid. Your brain wants to keep you in a circle of comfort, and everything that you do, as I'm telling you here, is going to move you to the edge of your comfort zone, and it's going to push you forward. It's going to push you to become a better and more aware person. It's going to push you to become, a better self. So I want you to find an accountability partner, friend, father. You can even have me as an accountability partner if you join my community, first link in the description, or other members that you resonate with, because you have to have that accountability partner as someone who really understands you and you understand him. You have like the same ideals in life, the same goals, the same mindset, really. Of course, you're not the same person and you're not going to be the same at everything, but on this, interest sphere, you have to be the same, because some people may find this weird. Like, why would you want to wake up early in the morning? You could just sleep until 10 a.m. and, take care of the day after. Let the day care of itself. Well, no, because we are a community of people who are self-accountable, who are disciplined, and who want to take advantage of those early mornings, early hours in the morning to be more productive. So my community here, mainly students, we want to take care of the schoolwork, ace it, and then have time for other skills, have time for other social interactions, and becoming, of course, a rounded person with more skills and more attributes so we can bring more value to the world. And if you watch until here, you are truly special. You have this unfair advantage over your competition that I was talking about the entire video. Not a lot of people stay here, of course, because not a lot of people want to be exceptional. If you want to be exceptional, you gotta be an exception. And to do that, you have to take, my action steps that I'm gonna tell you right here, right now. The first thing is to move your bedtime, 30 minutes earlier. If you go to sleep at 10:30, now you will go to sleep tonight, you will go to sleep at 10 p.m. Of course, when you do this, you also have to set your wake up time 30 minutes earlier. So if you wake up at 8, then you will have to wake up at 7:30. Now, this is the progressive deload phase that I'm talking about. And I told you at the beginning of the video, the one that I struggle with the most. So this is gonna be messy at the beginning, but you gotta do it anyway because you really want the outcome, and it's gonna be fun. It's really gonna be fun. It's a fun experience. It's gonna be easier for you to wake up early than to not wake up early. Then I want you to have a simple routine in place. So for example, I have 5 things that I'm doing, but you can start with one thing. You can start with gratitude, you can start with journaling, or you can start with, a small walk or some push-up that you can do each and every morning, so you can build those small wins and of course build the momentum over time. And the last thing that I want you to do is to find yourself an accountability partner. Friend, father, family members, or if you don't have someone in your group that's like-minded with you, join my program and you'll find a lot of guys there. You'll also have me there, so we can do this together. And don't forget this, win your mornings, conquer your days.